This is Women Take the Wheel.
Sit down, strap in, and turn on all you've got.
Nikki Clark is taking you behind the scenes.
You're ready to win.
Let me tell you, these cars, they get up and go pretty good.
Introducing you to women drivers, crew members, and fans of the racing world. Plus, Nikki is bringing you the latest racing news in Indiana and beyond.
We're going to bring it to you from the tower as they get ready to pull into the beams.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
All right, strap yourselves in.
Woo! Getting off the track and in your ears. This is Women Take the Wheel.
Come on, baby.
With your host,
Here we go.
Nikki Clark.
Hi, I'm Nikki Clark, your host for Women Take the Wheel, here on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And on this episode, I'm talking to Pro Stock Motorcycle rider Angie Smith. This week, she'll be racing at the NHRA U.S. Nationals here in Indy, where she has already clinched her spot in the countdown. We talk about how she got into professional motorsports and didn't tell her parents about it at first, her love for her sponsor, and what it's like to live and work with her husband, five-time champion Matt Smith. Stay tuned.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecasts, radar, and Indiana sports all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
And welcome to Women Take the Wheel. And today with me is Angie Smith, NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle rider. And how are you today, Angie?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. I am excited for the U.S. Nationals, as I'm sure you are excited as well.
I am. It's the biggest race of the year, and it's like the Daytona of NASCAR, so we got to show out.
I know everybody wants to get that win, and you are coming in sixth in the points, which is awesome. And I do believe this is the highest you've been entering, the highest rank you've been entering the U.S. Nationals?
Yes, sixth is the highest I've ranked coming in to the countdown. I've always had to clinch my spot at Indy, and that puts a lot of added stress on you.
Oh, yeah.
But I clinched at Topeka, which is a little less stress, but it's still a lot of stress because it's the biggest race of the year.
Oh, my gosh. And how long have you been doing this now? You've been at it since 2000?
2008 was my first full season.
Oh, my gosh. And it's, like you said, it's pressure, that U.S. Nats, when you're like, oh, my Lord, I need to get in. Please, let me get in. So there must be a little bit of relief then coming in clinched already.
Yes, there's a little bit of relief because no matter what happens at Indy, I still will be able to compete for the championship. And that's a relief in itself. A lot of times you are stressed to the max. I know I was as a driver when I had not clinched before. I was super stressed going into Indy, and every day I was stressed. And until I put my name on that board, it was not a disaster, but close to it.
Well, let's see. And then we're going to take a little step back, because I always love to know how people get into racing. And so when was it that you decided, number one, you love racing, and number two, you wanted to jump on a bike and do this competitively?
I've always loved racing. However, I grew up around circle track racing, and there is a track that is about 30 minutes from where I grew up. It's called Bowman Gray Stadium. They do a lot of TV stuff with flow racing, and they actually had a whole series on it at one time several years back called the Madhouse, and it is literally a circle track around a football field.
Wow.
And they have a lot of high horsepower cars that come out here and race every Saturday night, and it's mainly people that live within an hour of the track, and you're the hometown hero. So I grew up there. My dad worked on a pit crew to one of the cars over there, so every Saturday night I went there. I wanted to race circle track. I wanted to race there. And my dad was like, absolutely not. You are not doing that, because he said he would be in jail, and I probably would be in jail too. So I've always had a love for racing, but I wanted to go circle track racing. it wasn't until like my senior year in high school and right out of high school that, you know, I was introduced into drag racing, and, you know, I fell in love with it. And I was like, man, this is awesome. This is cool. How many girls do it? And they were like, well, not a lot. And they kind of were like, not a lot. Like, you know, don't go into that territory. I was like, well, I want to do it.
Wow. And I'm like, and what made you decide to do a bike instead of a car? Because to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm too klutzy. I need a roll cage around me. I'm like, what made you decide to like get on a bike?
Well, all of the people that I was hanging around at the time had street bikes, and they would go to the local track and let's go race our bike at the local 8-mile track. So I kind of got into it that way, and a car just didn't seem feasible. I wanted to be a motorcycle because I was a daredevil anyway, and my parents were like, absolutely not. You're not racing. You're not doing this. So I thought the motorcycle was the best thing, you know, my parents would hate. So that's what I did.
Oh my gosh, you must have given your parents so many late nights, didn't you?
Oh, I did. And it's funny. I kept it a secret for about 5 or 6 months. And then I was like, so I have to tell y'all something. You know, I'm going to start racing, drag racing. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was like, well, I've kind of already bought a bike and I've kind of already been doing it. So they really couldn't say no at that point.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty sneaky. But hey, you got where you wanted to go. And so
I did.
That is so funny. I can just, well, Mom, so. And now, and everybody knows, or in case you're new, you don't know, your husband, you race with him, Matt Smith, and you have a team together. How did you guys end up meeting out at the racetrack?
Well, actually, so after, you know, I did the local 8th mile and you have your street bike, I wanted to go faster. So we built I had a Suzuki GSX-R 1100 at the time. So we built it. We did a lot of motor work to it. And there was a class called Outlaw Pro Street, which was no wheelie bar, nitrous class, run what you brung and hope you brought enough. And I was really the only girl that ever competed in that class. Well, he raced that class too. And I hated him.
Oh,
we were rivals, and I mean worst rivals ever. It was not a friendly rivalry at all, you know. And he liked me, but tried to do stuff to get under my skin. And I'm kind of a hothead sometimes. And you know, for the longest time, like, I did not like him. And then in 2007, he wanted a girl to be on his team. Well, I guess he picked me because he always liked me, like wanted me to be his girlfriend and go out on a date with him. And I was like, no way, because I don't even like you. Why would I go out on a date with you? So for 2 years, it was, come on, go out with me. Come on. No. And he wore me down, and I finally went out with him. And then, like, one of our first dates was, hey, so I want you to come to Pomona and be my date for the banquet. And that was in 2007. So, and that's kind of how it all started.
And then the rest is history. And
it is.
It is. And then and by the way, when it comes to banquets, you almost always get my best dressed award. I'm just saying that right now, too.
Oh,
you always look stunning. I'm like, you have the best dresses at that event. I'm just going to let you know that anyways. But, and so then from there, then it's just blossomed into the whole team thing then?
Yeah, so he wanted me to ride his bike, and actually he was sponsored by Torco at the time, and they wanted to put a girl on the bike. So, you know, I was the one that got the job, and, you know, we raced, and then Torco kind of fell apart. And, you know, and then I really loved drag racing, and I really loved racing NHRA. And, you know, when you race NHRA, everybody out there is your family. You have rivals. You have people that you don't send Christmas cards to, but
yeah,
for the most part,
that's a nice thing.
For the most part, everybody is good, and you're all friends, and you're all family. So then that's kind of where it started. And, you know, I had some bumps in the road. You know, these bikes are very, very hard to ride. I tell everybody that we make it look easy on TV. It looks very finesse, very structured, very what we do on the bike, we try to do every single time. They're very hard bikes to ride, and it took me a while to get down to being a robot on the bike, doing the same thing every single time, staging the bike the same way every single time. It took me a while to get that. And here we are now, and I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have changed this, and I think I would have been more successful earlier in my career, but, you know, I was kind of a little bit of stubbornness with Matt. You know, I wanted to do it my way, he wanted to do it his way, and it's just things like that. But it's a learning process when you come from one bike to another bike.
And you guys, you do make it look easy, and I don't know how. Like I said, I just not having anything, you know, around you except for the, you know, your leathers. I just,
Right.
I don't know how you guys do it. You are so brave, and honestly, kudos so much to you guys. And here's my thing too. So I've talked to like the top fuel girls, and they're all like, you know, who'd you look up to? And it's always like Shirley Muldowney, you know, because she drove dragster too. Who do you look up to as the person you're like, you know, who inspired you and helps you out as being a woman in motorcycle class?
Well, I mean, Shirley for sure, because I knew who Shirley was, and Erica Enders. But and you have Angel and Karen. They started at the same time, and they started probably 10 or 15 years before me. So I looked up to them, and they were role models to me. And I was like, wow, you know, they do this, and I want to do this. So, you know, I need to get with them. And now, you know, all of them ladies are some of my dearest friends, and I talk to them on a regular basis.
And that's the thing I love about Pro Stock Motorcycle is how many women are in the class. I mean, it's more than I think the other classes combined, because if I'm right, like right now you guys have 5 female riders, and it can be, I mean, I think I've gone to a race where I think there was like 9 women riders. And I just find that so cool.
It is cool. And I think the reason why we like motorcycles is I think it's appealing to us because, you know, the weight thing, you know, we're lighter in weight than most of the men, so we can put the weight where it needs to be on the motorcycle. And I think the daredevil factor and being a role model, I think those are the 3 things that, you know, really stick out to me.
And you are, then that brings me to another thing, you know, being fit and riding the bike. You are fit. I mean, you are, how does it, the discipline to do the workouts that you do? I mean, do you just ever have days where you're like, I just can't do it? Because every day you are just like grinding.
Yes, I do. And there are days where like, you know, I get on the struggle bus, but I have trained my brain and my body to need a workout every day. The only day I do not work out is Sundays when I'm home. And it's very good mentally for me because it's kind of my away. Because like you said, I work with my husband, I sleep, eat, everything is 24/7, motorcycles and being around my husband and all that. You need that getaway time. And so I get up every morning religiously at 4 o'clock in the morning. I go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm at the gym from 5 to 7:15, and then I leave and come home, and then I start my day. I need that adrenaline, that release of adrenaline that early in the morning, and then I go about my day, and it seems to work.
Wow. And like you said, too, and I kind of brought this up earlier, what is it like working and riding and living it and everything with your husband? My parents do it. I don't know how they do it. But, I mean, is there ever times you're like, okay, dude, I know what I'm doing? I'm like, what is that like with Matt?
Oh, it is. And, you know, it's very trying. You have to pick your battles from a marriage standpoint. You have to pick your battles. Is this battle worth fighting, or is it just let it go? It's funny you bring that up because a week ago I was mounting a tire on my bike, on my rim. And he said, do you need some help? And I said, no, I don't need any help. And he was like, he kind of looked at me like, oh, well, fine. You know, I guess I maybe have said it sassy or something. But, and then I couldn't get it to beat up right off like in 2 minutes like he would. And he come back and he goes, "Are you sure you don't need any help?" And I said, "No, I don't need your help." And I got it beat it up and everything. Like, I know what I'm doing. He's taught me all of this stuff. And sometimes if I don't do it in the time frame that he wants it done, he thinks I need help, and I don't. But it's good. Like, it's funny because when I do well on the bike, things seem to go smoother at the house. And when I don't do good on the bike, then things are a little rocky at times. But all in all, you know, he wants what's best for me. You know, he can be a pain in my butt at times, but it's all in all, it's great.
And what is it like when you're lined up against each other? Because I have the best picture I took one time of you two up and just looking at each other, getting ready to like go. And so what's it like when you have to line up against him?
He definitely talks trash to me, and he tries to bring out the best in me, and I probably make one of my best runs when I'm against him because he's a 5-time champion. I want to beat him just like I want to beat everybody else I race.
And I one of my favorites is when the Pomona finals, and you guys were against each other, and he's for the championship. You did that burnout. That was amazing. What was that like to just let loose and do something fun like that?
It was so great because I love doing long burnouts. However, your crew chief usually doesn't like you doing burnouts like that because it messes your clutch setup and all of that up. And, you know, all of those, everything has factors of why they don't want you to do these things. But when I got to do that burnout, it was awesome. Like, I started my burnout in third like I always do, and I shifted it all the way to sixth and drove it out to past the 330. When I turned the motorcycle off and I heard the fans go crazy, I was like, we need to do more of this.
Yeah. Sorry, crew chief, but that was awesome.
Yes, it was.
And now when you're not lining up against your husband, do you have a favorite person you love to line up against?
You know, I wouldn't. You know, I always like to beat the big teams, like from the Vance and Hines team to the War team. When you beat people like that, when you beat past champions, you know, you get to put a feather in your cap. And it's very rewarding to do that. I will say this, Lee Tonglet is probably one of the hardest people to beat. And I got to beat him in Topeka. And, you know, I was excited about that. I mean, even though it was second round, I think, or whatever, you know, I was excited because he is a tough competitor. He is one of those that does the same thing on the bike every single time. He's good on the lights. He is a great rider. And when you beat those great riders, it's rewarding to yourself.
It is. It's very like, I did that. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. And so going back to family too, because like I said, I'm around NHRA too, and I know what a family is. But for you too, it's truly a family thing too, being with your father-in-law, Ricky Smith, who's also going for the championship this year. So when you guys get for like family dinner, is it pretty much like all race talk?
It's all race, all the time. We always say we're not going to talk about racing, and 10 minutes in, it's racing. We talk about racing. And it's the whole time. And it's just what we are programmed to do, and it's all we know. And my brother-in-law, Scott Speed, Amanda's, Matthew's sister's husband, he races rallycross. So we are surrounded with racing all around.
I love that. I'm like, you know, but I'm also in a racing family too. So I get that. I totally get that when it's like nothing, it's dead quiet. And then like, hey, did you see that race last week? And hey, so I get it.
Yes. Yes.
And another thing when you talk about family is not always blood. Something I love about you guys is your sponsor, Denso. And I love Miss Lisa. And I just love the relationship you guys have with your sponsor. And how fun is that?
It is so much fun. We call her Mama Lisa, and she truly is. She's only a year older than me, so she is not my mom. But I always call her Mama Lisa, and we have the greatest time together. She is way more than just the person that sponsors us. She is like one of my true friends, one of my close friends. I call her. We talk several times a week. I love her, and she is very involved in drag racing, and that means a lot to our team and to the sport. There are some sponsors, and I'm sure you know this, that just send the check, and on Monday, they may or may not know how you did. Lisa is always watching every qualifying round, every elimination round. She knows what's going on if she's not there, and if she is there, I can guarantee you she's standing on my side of the racetrack. And there's no more of a reward feeling than I had in Vegas of 2020 when I got to hand her the trophy at the end of the track. That was the most rewarding thing I've done in my career.
Oh, I just love her because I think I was with her when you guys first kind of met, because she is also with Clay. And we went, we had that superhero one, and we were putting capes on you, and you were such a game. You were so like, oh, sure, let's put the fan, let's get this going. And you guys, from that moment, I'm like, oh, these two are two peas in a pod.
Yes, she's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, and I have a great picture of us, too, from PRI, too, where, like I said, you guys are such a great team. If you see one, you see the other, and that's what I love about you guys.
Yeah, she's really involved, and, they do so much more for us than just fund our team. And even her bosses are involved, and they know what's going on, and they know how we do. And when you have a massive company like Denso that cares about the people that they sponsor, that's awesome.
Oh, I love that. And I love when you get sponsor relationships like that. And so now I'm coming to the part where I'm going to kind of ask, the typical questions I like to ask, but what is your most memorable race ever?
I would say the Vegas 2020, for sure. When it was me and Steve Johnson in the final, and I beat him. I was 70 on the tree, which was nothing to brag about because that's horrible to me. But I drove around him at the end of the racetrack, and I had not won a race since 2014. When I won that race, that was very, very memorable.
That is a good one. And I remember watching that one too, and I'm just like, oh my God, good for her. You just at the end there. I just love that. And if you weren't driving a bike, is there any other class you'd consider driving in?
I would definitely consider Top Fuel. I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I would definitely want to go 330 plus miles an hour, however fast they're going now, because it's insane. But I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I would go Top Fuel.
I don't blame you there. I'm like, I'll let you go there because I'm too chicken to do that. Nobody even likes me driving the golf cart, so we'll just leave it at that. But no, seriously, when I was driving Jason Line around, Jason's like, oh my God, Nikki, you're going to kill me. I'm like, sorry. And my favorite thing I always have to ask the women, and what advice do you give to other girls out there who are listening who want to get into racing and maybe even get on a bike? What would you tell them?
That if it's your dream and your goal, that you can do it. There will always be people to tell you no, and there will always be people to tell you you can't do it. And you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to surround yourself with the right group of people. You have to build the right relationships with the people that are involved, and you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it.
I love it. And now's the time to plug yourself. Where can people find you on social media?
I am on Instagram at Angie Smith 77 and Twitter on Angie Smith 77. And on Facebook, I have an Angie Smith Racing Facebook page. And I am new to TikTok. New. Way new. I think it's Angie Smith 77 as well on TikTok. But for the most part, I do a lot on Instagram, so you can find me there.
Yeah, I'm still on the TikTok thing too. I don't even blame you. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I really do. And good luck at the U.S. Nationals coming up here. I'm so excited for you. And I will see you at the track too.
Okay, come out and see me. And thank you for everybody for listening.
Thank you again for listening. I'm Nikki Clark, and this is Women Take the Wheel. Be sure to connect and follow on Facebook when you search for Women Take the Wheel podcast. And be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network,
This is Women Take the Wheel.
with Nikki Clark. Follow and subscribe to this podcast now and discover even more great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
AllIndianaPodcastNetwork.com.